Yo, what's good, man? This is the young KingLee. I'll catch some Bruce. Back at it with another reaction video. In this video, we're gonna be reacting to top 10 most impactful anime fights of the decade. We just did because you know this year's about to end, bro. We gotta get these decade videos out the way. Anyway, the last video, top 10 anime villains of the decade. If you haven't watched the video, make sure you go watch the video. Link will be in the description. Of course, everything. It will be in the description because viniitube made this video. It's by viniitube. Yeah, so we're about to see villains of the decade. I mean, not villains, fights of the decade. What is this? Why? And my mustache, that's barely there. Can you see it? Anyway, yeah, let's get into this. I'm excited, and possibly be streaming to later today or tomorrow, so be ready for that. We're gonna be talking about a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on YouTube. I'm pretty sure you already seen some videos, but I want to put my 2 cents in it. Let's go.
Throughout the past 10 years, so get cozy and prepare yourself. Let's
We
go.
already know. You're not finna sit here and put this on 10. Why?
We start off with one of the most iconic fights from the
Let's see
Dragon
the
Ball
list.
franchise, Goku versus
Let's see the list first.
Jiren. Obviously, this list wouldn't be complete
And then
without Dragon Ball in it,
I'll make
would
the
it?
decision.
Despite
I
what
would
the
I
artsy
put
and
this a 10.
selective anime fan may tell you, creating a shonen battle is a form of art. Having said that,
It is
Goku
art.
versus Jiren's easily one of the flashiest fights in Dragon Ball history.
Best,
When
one of the best
finally
too.
clash, Goku's outmatched big time. Jiren surprises Goku by turning his spirit bomb against him, and just as things look over, Goku miraculously unlocks his most powerful transformation yet, the Ultra Instinct.
The savagery.
Surprisingly though, Jiren defeats Goku effortlessly, and thankfully the rematch isn't that far away. After all, it's the fate of the universe kind of shit that we're talking about that's on the line, so Goku finally masters Ultra Instinct. Overall, this fight made me feel like a kid again. I got flashbacks of when I saw Goku versus Frieza for the first time in DBZ. This has to be one of the coolest, memorable, and inspiring fights in all of Dragon Ball that won't be forgotten anytime soon.
Ooh, Jotaro versus Dio, boy. I remember I saw this fight. It was crazy.
It's Jotaro versus Dio from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders. As for this being JoJo's #1 fight, hardcore fans might put this on their own list of best fights in anime because it's a pure mix of brain, brawn, and balls to the walls. After emerging from the shadows, Dio's back, but this time with his OP stand ability, the World, which can freeze time minimally, but enough to do some maximum damage. The fight goes all around the streets of Cairo, causing mayhem.
Yeah,
They
shit was
push
crazy.
each other to
Go
the
watch
brink, and it
JoJo.
eventually comes
I remember
down
I
to
didn't want to
wits.
watch JoJo.
In one instance, when Jotaro's knocked down from a knife attack, he purposely stops his heart from beating just to play possum, and throws a devastating sucker punch before Dio can freeze time. Just when you think it's all over though, Dio finds a way to come back. Eventually, he lets himself get knocked around back to Joseph's body to absorb his blood to go full power. But that's not enough to stop my boy Jotaro as he angrily shatters Dio's body to pieces by stopping his roundhouse kick with a devastating overhand right swing.
Gone. Yo! Ooh. Did you see that? That's crazy. You see how my lighter is trash. Luffy versus Katakuri.
Arguably the best fight from One Piece yet.
Facts.
Luffy versus Katakuri. Now I know a lot
Facts.
of people had some doubts
Dopey
around
though.
One Piece following its time skip, but there's no arguing the awesomeness in the fight between Luffy and the sweet commander Katakuri. This is definitely one of the major highlights of the series as a whole and a major upset for the latter half of the series. As Luffy tries to rescue Sanji from Whole Cake Island, he comes face to face with someone he deems his greatest test for advancing as a pirate, Charlotte Katakuri, whose abilities are similar to Luffy's, but more powerful in every regard. During the fight, they begin respecting each other and develop as people and fighters.
Thanks.
It's an amazing fight in the manga, and the great animation in the anime is definitely worth any
I
fan
loved it.
going out of their way to see, just like all the others on
Go
this
watch
list.
it. My eyes are tearing up right now. Me personally, I would have put this higher on the list. Just because. I love this fight. It was crazy. Katakuri outclassed Luffy in every way. Even though some crazy shit went on. Tanjiro versus Ryu. Pretty good. Yo, go watch Demon Slayer if you ever watched Demon Slayer. Shit fire.
Demon Slayer is considered by many, me included, as one of the best anime of 2019. It's full of marvelously layered characters with diverse and complex personalities, an interesting and engaging plot, and of course, stunning animation. It's everything you could want, including one of the most emotionally impactful fights in anime.
I love Demon
Tanjiro
Slayer,
against
bro.
Rui explores the themes of the unstoppable
need to
power
stop
of
blowing up
family
my
love.
phone.
Now, Rui desperately wants a family, but his vision of one is damn twisted and founded on nothing but fear, instilled through repeated abuse, which he does with unrepentant sadism. He's shown to be incredibly sensitive to the subject of family and gets really mad when Tanjiro points it to him. This angers him to the point that he demands that Tanjiro take his words back and threatens to kill him if he doesn't comply.
Don't take them words back, man.
Tanjiro's sister's selfless act of shielding him from Rui's threats, Rui becomes obsessed with the idea of developing a bond with Nezuko. In the final moments, the siblings draw upon their love for each other, and then Tanjiro claims victory by slicing Rui's twisted head off.
With a new technique. That boy Tanjiro came a long way. A long way. All Might versus Nomu.
We move to the next entry with All Might versus Nomu.
Fire.
This has to be one of the most inspiring fights in anime. You could argue that the fight in some way resembles a fight between Superman and Doomsday, but trust me, it's much more than that. But damn me if this isn't impressive. Rarely do we see a seemingly godlike character like All Might struggling with his daily routine as a superhero. The fact he's not as mighty as he used to be in his prime when he was able to defeat a villain whose entire purpose is to fight him at his 100% is making it much more intense, constantly questioning yourself. Is it possible for All Might to actually win? And if he does win, will he survive the stress on his body?
Thanks.
Not only does All Might overpower Nomu, making him fly into freaking space, but also to everyone's shock, he goes beyond his limits and still has a bright smile shining on his face, proving for the nth time that a real hero never gives up, no matter what the odds are.
Gone. That's that shit right there. Wait. Oh, my lighting is trash. That's my guy. My eyes are. You see my eyes getting watery, bro. Yo, Okiora. Ichigo versus Okiora, bro. Come on, bro.
At number 5, we have Ichigo versus Ulquiorra. Ichigo's long-running rivalry with the emotionless Ulquiorra finally comes to an end in dramatic, over-the-top fashion, just the way we like it. Ulquiorra has proven to be one of Ichigo's toughest opponents.
Thanks.
The audience was put in real suspense when Ulquiorra landed a successful Cero Oscuras on Ichigo, but Ulquiorra had no idea he'd just signed his own death sentence with the attack by helping Ichigo take on his newest, powerful and terrifying hollow form. This is the moment when the two swap places, with Ichigo's new form revealing his deep demonic nature and Ulquiorra's first experience with fear proving that he's just as flawed as the humans he looks on from above. The fight is epic, seeing how faster and unpredictable Ichigo is compared to Ulquiorra when he's transformed, making it a living hell for him.
Dang. Woo. Boy. I've seen this. This shit was crazy.
The next fight's from a series known for its amazing fights. Yes, it's Kiritsugu versus Kirei from Fate Zero. Most people think major climatic anime fights must have over-the-top crazy action full of destructive attacks.
We got the Matrix on.
Big
I've related
speeches
to this
and
a long
loads of
time ago.
screaming, leaving little room for originality. It's rare that the fight only contains 2 total hits and no dialogue, but still remains compelling.
Freddy
and
Krueger
interesting.
Wolverine
This
type.
one achieves just that. 2 of the most important characters in the Fate series, Kirei and Kiritsugu, battle it out as foils, 2 people cut from the same cloth. Pragmatic monsters who are beyond right or wrong in their personal crusades. Now, fluid fight choreography and brilliant strategizing highlight the rather short confrontation between 2 people who are essentially the same, which you can see in their exchanges. Despite being this badass mage killer who doesn't give a damn about fighting clean and honorably, Kiritsugu finds his match in the priest, who acts as a wall that he can't overcome. But overall, the fight's amazing, and personally, this is my favorite fight from the Fate franchise.
It's a really good fight. kind of even in some way. Naruto vs Sasuke from Shippuden.
Next on the list, it's Naruto versus Sasuke. Of course, this list wouldn't be complete without the fans' favorite frenemies, Naruto and Sasuke. These two have been close friends, rivals, and to some extent, enemies as well. Their fight starts in the final valley, where they exchange their ideas and beliefs about the world. Sasuke wants to start a revolution by killing 5 Kages in charge of the 5 hidden villages. Naruto, of course, disagrees and tells him he's taking the wrong path. Seeing two close friends fight with everything they have, throwing their most powerful jutsus at one another was heart-crushing.
Yeah.
But we knew it was only a matter of time before this happened anyway.
True.
This fight was amazingly well choreographed, and those flashbacks really made us all emotional. In the end, Sasuke's Chidori and Naruto's Rasengan collided, resulting in a big explosion, causing both of them to lose a hand. Lying down on the ground, Sasuke admits defeat. Even after all of Sasuke's shit, Naruto still wasn't willing to give up on him. That's what real friends do, and thankfully, Sasuke acknowledged that.
Thanks. My eyes are tearing, bro.
For those who haven't seen Gintama, you're probably surprised to see this fight so high on the list. But for me personally, this is one of my favorite fights in all of anime.
Nah.
That's right, peeps. Gintama's a lot more than just a comedy anime.
Wouldn't be on my
This
top
fight's raw and
list.
Just
I mean,
what
at the
you'd
top of the
expect
list,
from a
at
great
least.
samurai versus samurai fight. We finally
Pretty
get
badass fight, though. I
Takasugi's
did
point of
react
view,
to it.
who's not so different from Gintoki
Maybe it got
after all,
blocked or
but just a
copyright
victim
strike. It
to
might still be on the
circumstance.
channel.
As shown in their
Maybe check.
backstory, they've actually almost fought each other 500 times. They head towards each other screaming, leaving aside tactic or strategy. They know each other inside out, their fighting styles, weaknesses, what they're capable of. Both have been waiting for this moment for years, and when they finally meet, they're left with nothing else to do but unleashing the rage they've been honing in all these years. They're evenly matched. Every kick and punch thrown is immediately returned to the other. When Takasugi stabs Gintoki, then Gintoki stabs Takasugi, it's something like a mirrored PvP match where you fight your twin brother or something like that.
It was crazy. Yeah. It might be like Dragon Ball Z. Netero versus meruem. Yes.
And at number 1, we have, without a doubt, one of the best fights in the Hunter x Hunter anime, and anime in general. It's netero versus meruem. A fight that's even hyped more by the epic soundtrack and the awesome narrator delivering an epic showdown between Netero and the Chimera.
If Netero was in his
prime, alongside the incredibly crisp and amazing animation in the fight itself, more importantly, this is about the ideological conflict and what it means to be a human. Meruem's probably my favorite anime villain of all time. He's a complex character that initially starts as your typical cruel and violent dictator that considers himself superior to all other forms of life. He felt no concern for his dying mother after his birth, and he only shows respect towards the strong and has no empathy towards humans, viewing them as nothing but a source of food. Later on, however, after meeting Komugi, Meruem started to question the differences between ants and mankind and battled with his identity as half human and half insect, questioning the nature of violence and strength as true power. On the opposite corner stands Netero, fighting to save humanity from extinction. That and, well, because he really just likes a good old fight, Netero dedicated his life to martial arts. Similarly to the king, he displayed a great deal of pride when it comes to his own abilities. His goal in life is to find a worthy adversary that he can fight with his whole spirit. They both admire and acknowledge each other as worthy opponents, though it looks like the fight could go either way with no clear indication who's ultimately going to win. Soon enough, we see that the king sees holes in Netero's patterns, taking advantage of them to get through the hands of his stand. I mean, Bodhisattva. Netero's mistake initially costs him his right leg, but the old man continues to fight, brushing it off like no big deal, calling it just a lucky punch. After that, if this old man isn't the biggest badass in the show, then I don't know.
Yeah, he was really badass.
Superiority against
It's crazy. I saw the fight with.
Is like a battle between an unstoppable force and an immovable object. In the end, it seems that the king got the best of him, and just as we think this at the end, Netero reveals that he had a final trick up his sleeve. The miniature rose, his final trump card that he uses symbolically, unleashing his deeply buried menace within his heart to nuke the whole goddamn field, along with Meruem. So, which is your favorite anime fight of this decade? Comment below.
Yo, if you haven't watched Hunter x Hunter, I cannot stress this enough. Go watch it. You will understand. You will understand this fight. Just from looking for that piece, you would have thought, nah, man, that fight ain't lit, bro. You'll be lying to yourself if you haven't watched it, man. Well, technically, you wouldn't be lying to yourself. You would just be ignorant to the fact. But go watch it, bro. It's crazy. One of my favorite fights of anime in general. But definitely my favorite fight in Hunter x Hunter. And one of the saddest moments, because I hate to see Netero go. So make sure you go check that out, man. A link will be in the description to the actual video itself by viniitube. And I'm going to get the heck out of here, man. Peace. Bye.